What is up, fourth grade? All right, today we are going to move on to lesson 10.2, and we're going to talk about classifying different kinds of triangles. Before we get started, I want you to actually go get a piece of paper. So if that means you need to pause this video to go get it, please go do that. Go get a piece of paper and a pencil or a marker or a crayon. Whatever you have to write with will be fine, and then come back and press play. All right, so there are two ways that we can classify triangles. We can classify them by the length of their sides and by the angles that they have that make them up. So on that piece of paper that you grabbed, I want you to draw just like this. Draw just a little T-chart. One side will be by side, one will say by angle, and at the top you can write classifying triangles. So go ahead and pause this if you need to, and go ahead and do that so you can have it ready to go. All righty, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can classify a triangle by the length of its sides. So please make sure that you are taking notes on the by the side of your chart and on that piece of paper as we go. All right, so equilateral triangles, the sides of an equilateral triangle are all the same. So when we think of an equilateral triangle, I want you to think of the word equal, because all of the lengths of the sides are going to be the same. They are going to be equal. Again, as we're going through this, if you need to pause it to take notes to write down, please feel free to do so. All right, then we have an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has only two equal sides. So when we think of isosceles triangles, I want you to think of how many eyes you have. You have two eyes on your face, and the reason we say isosceles triangle is because only two sides are equal. So when we look at isosceles triangles, I want you to think of your two eyes and how only two sides of that triangle are going to be equal. Notice here, 3 inches, 3 inches, and this bottom side is only 2 inches. Then we've got a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle has no equal sides at all. So it is just a silly scalene triangle with no equal sides. All righty. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the other side of that little chart you made on your paper. And we're going to look at how we can classify triangles by their angle. So we have acute triangles that have 3 acute angles. So if all 3 angles in a triangle are acute, that is going to be an acute triangle. Again, make sure that if you are needing to pause this video to take notes as we go, that you are doing that so you don't miss anything. And then we've got right triangles. A right triangle is going to have 1 right angle, and then the other 2 angles will be acute. So 1 right angle, 2 acute angles. And then we will have an obtuse triangle as the last kind of triangle. An obtuse triangle is going to have 1 obtuse angle, and the rest are going to be acute. Here is the obtuse wide angle here, and the 2 smaller acute angles here. All right, boys and girls, that is it for our triangle lesson on how we can classify them by their sides and by their angles. Make sure that if you did not take notes, which you should have, you are going back through this lesson so you can complete your assignment for today. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow. I'll see you on Thursday.